So you're telling me that a big weird dude is going around getting their picture taken and terrorizing people? Man, Drax and Santa really have a lot in common with your mom. Welcome back to another video in celebration of these festive times. We are going to rewind the clock and we are going to be talking about the MCU's most underrated Christmas project, the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special 2022, written and directed by James Cameron. Written and directed by James Gunn. And this short film, set in between the second and third installment of this franchise, is about the team, more specifically Drax and Mantis, who, after learning that Peter has had a bad history, to say the least, with Christmas, they go to Earth to search for the perfect, best, most amazing gift for him. That's right, Kevin Bacon. But wow, was this a great little fun project. I had a fantastic time with this. This really doesn't have anything to do with the overall story, and that's okay. It's a holiday special. It's not meant to be part of the whole story. First of all, this is kind of like one of those filler episodes in the middle of a drama story. Like, imagine if Breaking Bad just randomly had an episode in the middle of one of their craziest arcs where Jesse and Walt go and get ice cream and walk at the park. This is kind of that. I mean, even though they did have an episode where they spent the whole time trying to kill a fly, I digress. And just like that episode, where it lacks in story, it makes up for it in its characters and their character interactions and how they react to these situations, these weird situations. But we'll talk about more on that in a second though. Now, with that being said though, if you're looking for a crazy, mind-boggling twist that you didn't know would happen, you're not going to get that in this. The craziest, biggest thing that'll happen is that you learn that Mantis is related to Peter. And I feel like that really isn't that big of a twist because, first of all, it's revealed within the first 5 minutes of the film. And also, it's pretty much hinted at in Guardians 2. And obviously, we know that's the case. Whatever, right? But we're going to talk also more about that in a second too, because I think there's a nice message to be had with it. Overall, it's just great to see these characters live their lives. I think that's where this special worked the best, in that it just puts them in a scenario that makes them feel like you and I. Obviously, we watch these movies and we see these great adventures they're on, but it's great to see them just live their normal lives, live their average Tuesdays when they're not fighting Thanos or saving the galaxy. But first of all, the humor is really what sold it to me. This is tying back to the character dynamics, but I think Drax and Mantis really were at their peak in this. This is the most fun they've ever had, and this is the funniest they've ever been. I don't even know what this script looked like, but I don't care if they would have been a script or not a script, because this felt so real. It didn't even feel like they were saying lines. It just felt like they were just bouncing off each other as if you and your friends would. Especially when they're in Hollywood Boulevard and they just end up being tourist attractions and you see the montage of them taking pictures of people and how they react. So great. Especially when Drax started attacking the GoBots, which also canonically confirmed that GoBots exists in the MCU. You think Transformers exist in the MCU? I hope so. And of course, since this is a James Gunn film, we can't not talk about the production design. Obviously, this man is known for his creativity on building these fabulous sets that really encapsulate you into the world of the story, and this is no exception. This was filmed in the middle of Guardians 3, and that's perfectly fine because they use this nowhere set beautifully. Now, it does kind of suck that we only really stay in this like little quad area. We get a couple shots from where Peter's sitting in this other room, but for the most part you stay in this quad area, and I think that's okay. We don't need to see the whole set now right now. It's not the point of the story, but there is a lot of depth to it, and it gets a lot better when they add Christmas lights. Gosh, and those final shots, those wide shots where you see everybody standing there, the space is filled, all the lights are up. It looks so good, so beautiful, and so pretty. And by extension, the cast also looks beautiful. And not just the main cast, everybody. Even though, yes, this is just a holiday special, you don't really care what's happening with everybody in the background. They're all dressed up in their alien makeup, and they look so good. It really elevates this world, and it helps differentiate this part of the universe versus Earth, and it really makes the world feel lived in. I mean, we know this about the Guardian movies. They have some great production design, and this film is no exception. Everybody looks amazing. And of course, I can't ignore the Mantis and Peter reveal. Quote unquote reveal. Like I said, it was revealed within the first 5 minutes of the film, which is perfectly fine because it serves the story in that way. The whole point of this film is that Mantis feels bad for Peter. Obviously, he's gone through a lot with Thanos and Gamora, evidently. It's revealed within the first, and so she's talking to Drax, and she makes a remark about her and Peter revealed. Nothing new, nothing crazy, right? But that's okay. But that's why this story works, because it almost feels like she has this sibling duty to make him feel better, to cheer him up. And obviously the way she goes about it isn't quite necessarily the healthiest. She quite literally kidnaps a person, and at the very end, Peter gets mad at her. Rightfully so. I mean, they just went into this guy's house, just fucking destroyed his shit, and took him to space, right? And Peter's like, okay, take him back, right? This is not this is not okay. But you know, one thing leads to another. Kevin learns it's a whole misunderstanding. He accepts being kidnapped. I don't think most people should. And you know, they have a happy ending. Kevin stays because they tell him about Peter and his bad history with Christmas, and so he sings a song for him. It's nice and cheery. Everybody gets a gift. It's great, right? At the very end, you know, after all is said and done, she's talking to Peter. She apologizes, obviously, but she tells him that they're related. I don't know. I wasn't expecting Peter's reaction because he had this almost sympathetic look on his face, like as if he had already known this information. But he says that right there was the best Christmas gift he ever got. And it's just a really, really wholesome moment. And it's moments like this in a series of films that is filled with so much drama and action that really, really elevate everything. It helps fill in the gaps between the films, between these characters, and makes them feel more real than they already have, right? And in this scene, there's no jokes. It's just them talking, having a good old-fashioned sibling conversation, and when they embrace each other, it feels nice. It feels good. Also, that opening number is very catchy. Like, way too catchy. Like, who made it that good? And how did Nebula get Bucky's arm? When did Nebula get Bucky's arm? There's so many questions. But overall, that was the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. It's a great little piece of work. I think it's perfect for the holidays. It's short. It has a really short runtime, so it's very rewatchable. Very watchable. It's just like you're watching an episode of TV, and that's okay. That's pretty much what this is. This is just a nice filler episode for you to watch during the holidays, during these Christmas times, to get into the spirit of it, and to watch your favorite characters enjoy Christmas. It reinforces the amazing dynamics we've already come to establish with this cast and characters, and it makes you miss them all that much more. But as per usual, thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch me talk about Christmas in space. Have a safe and happy holidays. Don't do crazy amounts of drugs. Don't do Breaking Bad in real life. Until next time, see you, Space Cowboys.